Tomato beds can sometimes surprise you. What starts off as a neat row of plants can quickly turn into a tangled, overgrown mess. That's exactly what happened here. We originally planted what we thought were determinate tomatoes, plants that usually stay compact and manageable, but as they grew, it became obvious they weren't behaving that way at all. Instead of staying short and controlled, they kept growing taller, spreading in every direction, and producing flowers and fruits all at once. Before long, the whole bed looked crowded and messy. Some branches were leaning into the pathway, others were touching the ground, and the plants were starting to fall over under their own weight. When tomatoes grow like this, they need a bit of guidance. Otherwise, it becomes hard to manage them, and it can even affect the quality of the fruit. So we decided to step in and bring things back under control using 4 simple steps that made a big difference. The first thing we tackled was cleaning the bed. Weeds had started to take over in between the tomato plants. In our garden, weeds don't waste any time. They grow fast and compete directly with the tomatoes for water, nutrients, and space. Leaving them there would only make things worse. So we carefully pulled them out one by one, making sure to remove the roots as well. If you leave the roots behind, they'll just come back even stronger. Once the bed was clear, it immediately looked better, and the tomato plants had more room to breathe and grow. With the bed cleaned up, we moved on to the second step, adding support. Since the plants were growing wildly, they needed something to hold them in place. We used bamboo sticks and some rope to build a simple structure around the bed. It wasn't anything complicated, just a basic frame that worked like a cage. This helped keep the plants upright and within a defined space. Instead of spilling out into the pathway, the branches now had something to lean on. It also reduced the risk of branches snapping under the weight of the fruit. Even a simple support system like this can make a huge difference when tomatoes get out of control. Next came the third step, mulching. We spread a layer of straw around the base of the plants, covering the soil well. This step is often overlooked, but it really helps. As tomatoes grow and the fruit start to hang lower, they can end up touching the soil. When that happens, especially during watering or after rain, the fruits can rot or develop fungal issues. The straw acts as a protective layer, keeping the fruits clean and dry. It also helps the soil hold moisture for longer, so you don't have to water as often. On top of that, it slows down weed growth, which saves time later. Finally, we move to feeding the plants. Tomatoes are heavy feeders, especially when they're producing lots of flowers and fruits. For this, we used a homemade liquid fertilizer. It's something we make using weeds from the garden and compost tea. Instead of throwing the weeds away, we soak them in water along with compost and let the mixture break down over time. What you get is a nutrient-rich liquid that plants respond to very quickly. After applying this liquid feed, the change in the plants is easy to notice. The leaves become greener, the plants look more active, and fruit development improves. It's a simple, low-cost way to give your plants a boost without relying on chemicals. Plus, it adds nutrients back into the soil, which helps in the long run. After going through these 4 steps, cleaning, supporting, mulching, and feeding, the tomato bed looked completely different. What was once messy and hard to manage became neat and organized again. The plants were still growing strongly, but now they were supported and under control. The pathway was clear and the fruits were no longer at risk of touching the soil. Tomatoes grow fast and can easily get out of hand if left alone, but with a bit of regular care, it's easy to manage them and keep the bed productive. A few simple steps like these can save a lot of trouble later and help you get better results from your plants.